this is my second table here, which is the bulk of what I do, which is sci-fi a lot of the time. I've had this one, which I'm very proud of. This is my UCS Vic Viper. I've had it for about 3 years, and I actually bought this fig here at Brick Bash because it was the right scale for the ship, and it's got a lot of detail underneath. I won't flip it over right now though because I've got only one hand available.
And for people real quick who aren't familiar with what a Vic Viper is, maybe a
Vic Viper is a style of spaceship that's based on an old video game, an old 8-bit video game, and every year in November we have a tribute to a builder called Nen, who passed away a few years ago, or went by the name of Nen, and he was real big on Vic Vipers, and so we have what we call November, which actually is on my shirt. November.
Yeah.
So I've got 2 V's for Vic Viper, 2 N's for Nen, because that's how I spelled it. And so the basic overriding principle of the ship is there are 3 characteristics: 2 forward prongs, 2 side wings, and 1 vertical fin. And if you have those things, then you've got the makings for a Vic Viper. So that's where that comes from. This piece over here is also a Vic Viper. It's just a smaller scale, obviously, more minifig scale. And a few months back, I guess it was about a month ago, FBTB had a Star Wars Evolved contest that they ran, and this ship back here actually tied for 3rd, which was my evolved version of a snow speeder. I was pretty happy with how it turned out, and I think it's kind of recognizable as a snow speeder shape. So I was pretty pleased with that overall. And then in front of that, this lime green one, for people who played Destiny, you'll probably recognize this. This was a commission I did to build this ship called the Extinction Event from Destiny. And it took me quite a while to put that together, but I was very pleased with how that turned out overall as well. We do that. And then, of course, Mactober. Lots of themed months in the LEGO community. Mactober, I've built this walker. And then just various different things that I've done. Oh, this one and this one were from Brothers Bricks contest for Pimp Ray Speeder, to take the official speeder set, rework it, revamp it, turn it into something new. So I came up with this one because I always thought it kind of looked like a fish anyway. And with my nerd glasses on, I'll point out that albichete is white whale in Latin. And then the fun fact about this particular one is I call it Ed Peppers' Misery, because if you rearrange the letters, it spells Pimp Ray Speeder. I'm getting a little nerdy there. This one actually, if you pull the side pieces out on it, these 2 flex tubes will light up and the whole thing glows in the front, which is pretty sweet. Then some basic sci-fi stuff that I've got. And a lot of what I do is just play with various colors or play with various parts and putting them together and that sort of thing.
And that's something I noticed. I like all the different colors you've got here. Is that just kind of you purposely try as you do a build to make a lot of various colors?
I do. And currently my 2 favorite colors are bright light yellow, I think it's called, which is in a lot of new Ninjago sets.
Okay.
Not a great part selection yet, but we'll get there eventually. And then the magenta from the Friends line I like very much as well. And you can see I've played a lot with medium blue in this one, and then the magenta parts that I've used to put this one together. Very happy again with the way this one turned out. And I love these little guys. They're my favorite. I use them for all sorts of stuff. And then some classic stuff, some classic Blacktron back here. I built these little speeder bikes for them, and classic Space Police back here as well. Hopefully someday we'll get back to some nice, awesome classic space kind of stuff. This one was built based on a lot of the stuff that Pete Morris does, and if anybody's big on sci-fi in the LEGO community, they know Pete. And he's had a big influence on a lot of the stuff that I do. And of course, this is another third-party piece for the Canopy clone brand kind of stuff. But yeah, the bulk of what I do is sci-fi, but I get asked to do commission work quite a bit too, and put stuff together and do things for people, from RoboCop's Ed 209 to some architectural stuff, and that stuff's always fun, always a challenge as well. So, but that's the long and the short of what's here on the tables. So
yeah, those are really cool. I appreciate you telling me about them. And what would you say is maybe like the hardest part of putting together as building space? You know, you've got a variety of different kind of builds.
Well, it's the best thing about space is you can make it look like however you want. So if something's not quite working right, you can just kind of restructure it and make it functional. The hardest part for me about sci-fi is when you're trying to replicate something specifically, and when you're doing that. One of the things I'm working on now, which I don't have with me today, is a minifig scale resistance X-wing, and trying to make that movie accurate, for example, more accurate than the official pose version. So whenever you're basing it on something that already exists, trying to make it as accurate as possible is always key, and that's one of the tricky things. So something like this Vic Viper doesn't take me nearly as long as something like that Extinction Event commission down there, because you're trying to make it as accurate as possible. So, yeah. Sometimes you put it together and you go, well, I'm really pleased with this one. I want to use this one like that. I thought I had on. I tend to cram a lot of detail. Oh, yeah. That's awesome. And the colors really fun. Which is a nice
At the bottom, there's an alien.
Oh, thanks.
Another alien. Those squids.